Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at thetechtrader.com. It's Thursday, May the 17th. These are the charts of the day. A lot of our stocks did well today. Some stocks we followed did well. Others that were swinging are doing very well too. So let's go over a bunch of them. A stock that I used to trade a lot, Taser, has now changed their name several months ago to Axon Enterprise. There's a chart on it. AXN. Here's for the breakout. At the end of February, that breakaway gap on Big Vine was what did it. It was followed by a wedge, a rising channel, another breakaway move. This is called a running gap. When you get a breakaway gap, then the next one's a running gap. The third one is the exhaustion gap. But in this case, it's consolidating in a rising flag type pattern or wedge. I'm looking for more upside. I think 66 is a good target. Going forward beyond that is maybe 80 or better. Your short-term support is right at 52, and the gap support is about 50. So that keep an eye on that level for support. Today's volume was exceptional, 5.5 million shares on an up day where it went up 5%. Biotechs and drug stocks doing great. ADMP is the one I wanted to show you. The reason I'm doing that is because the declining top line and the major coiling wedge type pattern broke out a couple of days ago and then pulled back yesterday, but today an inside day, but a positive one as it went up another 6.6%, and it traded 640,000 now. The OBV is moving steadily higher. It's the highest level we've seen in quite a while. So it's a positive divergence because the unbalanced volume is way ahead of where price is. At this point, although there is some resistance right in here, I'm looking for a breakout and a run to 5 and then 585 in that area. ARQL is flying. We've been watching this since it broke out in mid-March when it was trading at about 2. It ran up to 330, pulled back to hold that trend line and moving average and a falling wedge. Popped straight out and has been up for 6 to 7 days in a row. At this point, I'm looking for 390 and about 490 going forward. Blink. Stock has just been phenomenal. Another gap today after a gap yesterday. You can see how earlier in the week, last week it popped and then consolidated for a couple of days and broke out yesterday big time. The volume was a little lower today, but the unbalanced volume continues to go up. It looks to me like this may challenge or try to challenge 9.5, 3/4 as early as tomorrow. If it should get to that, the next target's 14. I'm not sure we get there, but tremendous momentum on this one. Bold or a dentist therapeutics. Big reversal day yesterday was a sign in the trigger. Today it exploded from about a little over 34 to 42 and change. It was up 744 at 22%. 1.9 million traded, one of the biggest volumes ever, and it's right at the January spike high at 41.80. Today closed 41.39 and got up to 42.61. So it did make a nominal new high, didn't close above it, but it looks like we get through here. We're looking at 48 and maybe 58. BZUN. Baozen popped 8.45. Nearly 19%, but more importantly, broke out of the consolidation. Has been in for 2 months. May very well be headed to 70.72. That's my target. Big volume in a breakout too. I like the look of this. Long-term beautiful channel. One of our favorite oils, if not the favorite, CRC has been a favorite of mine since it was trading in the 13 range, and here it is, 37. At this point, you can see that it's stretched out, but it's still running in a rising flag. Momentum could carry this further. 40 may get tested as early as the next day or two. Ultimately, 50 is the target. And low price CRNT, one of our old swing trades, after this inverse head and shoulder formed in the big run up, there's the breakaway gap on big volume. And then the corrective pullback in a nice orderly fashion held the trend line. I was looking for a breakout. We got it. It ran to resistance and pulled back to retest one more time. Today was a big day for it. Up about 10.5% on 3 million shares. It hasn't traded that in a while. I think we're headed towards 365 and then 420. Big day for CRSP swing trade. Put it out, and in one day the stock exploded for almost 8 points or 13%. The volume was huge for this stock, 3.8 million. And the breakaway day out of a large coil indicates to me this may be just the beginning of an important move that could take us to low to mid 70s and then all the way up at plus 100. We'll see. Fold, F-O-L-D. Well, Amicus Therapeutics broke out of a little base pattern yesterday and followed through today. What I really want to see on this one is over 1740. If we get that, my target's 20 and then mid-20s. Another biotech looking like it's breaking out, which also includes HRTX. This one broke out today above resistance. Only jumping $1.25 or a little less than 4%, but the volume was steady and the OBV is looking good. And I think 37 and 42 are targets. I think I have 38 and 43 or 37 and 43 as my targets on this one. Nice base, breakout wedge, and then up we go. Intelsat, excuse me. Major run up has taken this stock from 3.5 to almost 15. Phenomenal move. And yet it's still platforming and looking like it's not done yet. Next targets are 17.75, 18, and then low 20s. IMMU broke out of a 2-3 week congestion range and got up to the top of the short-term channel and backed off. So it didn't hold the gains, but it was up $1.39. At one point, it was up over 3. Still a 7% gain on biggest volume we've seen since last December. So I'm looking for 25.5, 6. Ultimately, a move that might take it into the mid-30s. Another biotech, Loxo. Some of you remember we gave you this in June, about $69 to $70 back in June. It worked its way up to my targets in the low 90s, mid 90s, and then pulled back. From that point, around 72.3, it's worked its way up to 100 points, folks. That's right, since the lows at the very end of the around Thanksgiving. It's now, and today, exceptionally up 28 points plus or 20% on positive news. I still think we got more to go, although there is resistance at the mid-channel line right there. We may get a follow through to 175.80 tomorrow. Ultimately, I'm looking for 215. MIME is moving. This first stock popped $1.93, almost 5%, and broke out across that mid-channel line. It may be headed very higher very much higher, I should say, because the breakout of this channel into the larger channel shows no overhead resistance as it's trading at a new all-time high. On a short-term basis, I would look for something near 50, 49.50. NBR with a beautiful inverse head and shoulders type base or rounding bottom base. This stock broke through the neckline today. Volume was a solid 23.2 million, and although it didn't close near the high and backed off, I think that pullback's a buying opportunity for anyone who wants to do a swing trade. If oil continues, this should be an $11 stock followed by 14. An old swing, REGI hit my $16 target today and then went through it to 16.80, closing at 16.65, up $1. But take a look at the pattern. You'll see the inverse head and shoulders or right-handed extended V pattern had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. So for anybody who's in the stock, it's already gone from 9.5 to almost 17, nearly doubling. And it's at lateral resistance. So although the momentum could carry this to 18, 19 zone, I would be careful and look for potential pullback entry ops for the next leg up. SPPI popped 216 to 20 today, 12%. And although it's not a key breakout, it did break across the moving averages, stall for 3-4 days, and today accelerating. So the triple top at 23.25.5 is what I'm looking at. We get to that, I'm looking at 29. Swing Vicar up $1.10 today. You can see the highest close on this one going all the way back to 2000. So it's an 18-year high. Look at that massive base. 14-year base pattern. You don't see that too often. Breakout, retest, and spike up. I'm looking for 58 on this one. Viking Therapeutics on a daily chart. Finally took out the declining top sign yesterday. Had a nice little follow through today. You can see it right there. What I need to see, if I can get this over the spike high at 558 as early as tomorrow, this may run to 6.25.5 and even 7.35 to test the February high when it reached, like I said, 736. Now, I understand this one has data due, and let's hope it's positive because it could explode it. If not, it could be in trouble. And WTI oil stock, look at this massive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. Through the top of the channel, the momentum is very strong. It might continue, but one must be careful that this line is not violated if you're trading it or holding it. Probably would put a stop under 7.25. But my target's going to be about 10.575. And folks, that's it for tonight. Have a good Friday, TGIF tomorrow. Let's make some money and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.